Welcome to the NASCAR season finale. I'm Alex Hayden, and this is Phoenix Raceway. The season comes down to one final run. 4 drivers are looking to achieve a lifelong goal of becoming the NASCAR Cup Series champion, and the trophy will be awarded to the highest finishing Championship 4 driver today. Drivers are in their cars. The crews are ready. Let's get the season finale underway and crown a Cup Series champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for tonight's action on NASCAR 22. It is the championship race at the Phoenix Raceway. And yes, our driver Kevin Harvick will be going for his second title in his second to last NASCAR Cup Series season. And he's got 3 drivers to beat. We can finish 36 tonight and still win the championship. Although I don't want it to come down to that. You just never know with this game. Be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. For those of you already asking in the chat and maybe have asked over recent live streams with NASCAR 22, this is not the final NASCAR 22 race. I do plan on doing one more season. I'm going to do a makeshift season because I'm going to be doing a custom schedule season the second time around. I will not be using Ryan Blaney for that, but I do have a driver already picked to race for that season. That will start next week with the Daytona 500, so that way we can run our Daytona 500 on NASCAR 22, of course, the same week that the Daytona 500 will actually be ran. I do have a quick update, though. I am not going to be going to Daytona this year like what I was expecting. I was like 80% sure throughout most of the offseason I'm going to make the late decision to miss out on the at-track in-person experience this year. As much as I don't want to do that, I really do want to commentate the race for you guys and Speed Weeks as a whole throughout the course of the week. So starting on Wednesday night with qualifying, I'll be doing live commentary on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The actual qualifying session will be on FS1. That full, I think they're on for 2 hours. We'll have that 2-hour block to ourselves, and we will watch some qualifying together. The following night, I'll be doing live commentary for the dual races at Daytona. That will start at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then that will also be on Fox Sports 1. We'll go all the way through both races, and then the Truck Series race on Friday, I will be commentating. That starts at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, also on FS1. Going to be doing a double header on Saturday. I will be commentating ARCA as well as the NASCAR Xfinity Series. I believe the ARCA race is scheduled to start at 1:30 Eastern Standard Time, with at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time the Xfinity Series race, again, all on FS1, and then Big Fox Daytona 500 on Sunday. We will start at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our Cup Series live streams will be starting about a half hour before the actual airtime start of the race, but granted, the drop of the green flag will probably be about 45 to 50 minutes after we start our live stream for the Cup Series races throughout the course of the season. So it is set in stone. The first race I will be going to this year will be COTA. It will not be Daytona, so we'll be doing live commentary streams for about the first 6 or 7 races this year before I go to COTA. Can't wait. And yeah, Daytona coming up this week. I'm still excited for it. Hopefully you guys are too, and hopefully you tune in for all the live commentary streams that we're going to have. It's going to be a big week. We're not going to have that many live commentary live streams in a single week going forward the rest of the year. I don't plan on really doing many ARCA races, but because it's Speed Weeks, I'm going to do that on Saturday. Means I have the time to do so anyway, and I plan on doing Truck Xfinity Cup Series, but with the dual races on Thursday, gives us a couple extra races on Thursday next week, and don't plan on doing qualifying really for most other series, but because it's a Daytona 500, and because I'm doing commentary for the dual races on Thursday, and there are drivers that can lock themselves in to the Daytona 500 based off of single car qualifying on Wednesday, I figured it's probably good and better that we do the live commentary for that as well. Plus, it's on FS1, so maybe a lot of you guys aren't able to watch it, so you can tune in here. So Speed Weeks will be covered on the channel. It will be covered from my house, not at the track like it was last year. And it is going to be a lot of fun throughout the course of next week. But we have business to get through here today. We're going to check the starting lineup. You can see the 4 drivers scrolling at the top of the screen periodically for who is in the Championship 4 and is racing for the championship tonight. I also have a pinned post in the actual chat as well. Ryan Blaney going to be on the pole for today's race. He is not a Championship 4 competitor. Our driver, Kevin Harvick, qualified outside of the front row in second. 9/1000ths of a second was the difference between P1 and P2 in qualifying. Again, Blaney on the pole, but in all Ford front row. Denny Hamlin, William Byron will line up in row 2. Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric, row 3. Joey Logano, Kyle Busch in row 4, and then Christopher Bell, Eric Almirola in row 5, rounding out the top 10. Christopher Bell qualified as the second highest Championship 4 racer. He pointed his way into the Championship 4 just like Kevin Harvick did. Both of those two were actually clinched into the Championship 4 off of points before the final stage started at Martinsville last week, but needless to say, they both had very good rounds nevertheless, which allowed them to clinch before the end of that race. And then the other two Championship 4 competitors of Ross Chastain and Chase Elliott will start in the same row in row number 8, back at 15th and 16th. Chastain in 15th on the inside, Elliott on the outside. That's going to be interesting to see how those two will come from mid-pack. Ross Chastain also pointed his way in. He ended up making it by 10 points over Joey Logano for that final transfer spot after the Martinsville finale. And Chase Elliott was the only driver in the round of 8 to actually win his way into the round of 4, the Championship 4. He won the first race of the round at Las Vegas. He's trying to go for his 5th win of the season today. Same for Christopher Bell. Chastain trying to go for his 3rd, and our driver Kevin Harvick trying to go for lucky number 13, making a baker's dozen on the season. We have not won a race in a while on this season, though. Our last win was Talladega. We actually went 3 in a row. The last time we had won races, that was Bristol Night, Texas, Talladega. So it's been 5 races since Harvick's last win. We've only had one top 5 finish in the last 4 races. That was a 3rd place finish at Las Vegas in the first race of the last round. So, with that being said, luck maybe not on our side, but Kevin Harvick won the first Phoenix race this year. That was just a 50% race. This is a 100% race. There were 18 cautions in that 50% race, so we're probably going to see a lot of yellows today. May make for a quick race. Definitely going to want to keep that track position as well. You never know if we can get any scoring glitches. I'm sure we'll see a ton of them, assuming we'll get a lot of cautions in today's action. NASCAR Cup Series 2311 Racing, Harry's Gaming, Rick, Ethan, Dark Crypto, Sandman, and others, welcome into the stream. Thanks for being the first in the chat. Again, hit the like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. And we are going to get our season finale underway, our first of 2 seasons of NASCAR 22. We got 60 laps in the first stage here today. Ryan Blaney will lead the field to the green. 312 laps, 312 miles to decide the 2022 NASCAR champ. And we are underway at Phoenix.
You're in the top 5 of that one.
Harvick stuck on the outside lane. Going to get a decent drive off on the exit of turn number 2. He'll get in front of his teammate Chase Briscoe to get back to the bottom into turn 3. And Ryan Blaney already set and sail as he's going to lead the opening lap of the race. Byron motivates around the outside of the racetrack. Kevin Harvick falls back to 4th after Byron was able to slip on by.
Stay right.
And Briscoe drives it in deep into turns 1 and 2. Got into the back of Harvick. That allows Logano to get by on the outside. So even though Harvick has dropped back to 5th after qualifying 2nd, he's still the highest running Championship 4 driver, and the caution is out for the first time today. It looked like probably trouble on the back straightaway. Ryan Blaney did not get to the start-finish line before the caution came out, so everybody will still be on the lead lap. As we head to our first restart of the race, Harvick will be on the bottom this time, so hopefully that'll help. And after our first caution, green flag back in the air, lap number 8. Lap 2, we get that first yellow of the day. Did not take long. Kevin Harvick dive bombing down to the bottom of the track. Byron doing the same. Going to use the 11 of Denny Hamlin up just a little bit as they make maybe a little bit of contact. Byron trying to protect the bottom lane as Hamlin clears on the outside. Harvick will get by Logano for position. Moves him up to 4th. And now blocks him down to the inside into the dogleg. Try not to go to the apron in the early going. Really trying to take care of the tires as much as we can here.
1 lap.
And even though we're behind the leader, if we do lose a lap to the leaders, it's just about being ahead of the Championship 4 competitors, which so far Harvick is. If he can get a lap ahead of them, that is going to be huge in his way of trying to win this. A lot of 2x2 racing going on for Harvick behind him. Briscoe looking to the outside, not quite going to get there. Harvick will pinch him off as they enter turn 1. Patrick Shadley, thanks for tuning in. We got the nice Kevin Harvick subway scheme today. Bottom lane got opened up that time to 1 and 2. Joey Logano is going to move up to 4th. Again, Bell qualified 9th. He was the second highest qualifying Championship 4 driver behind Harvick, who qualified 2nd. But Harvick going backwards in the early going here. Doesn't seem to have the good short run speed. Did go to the apron, though, when he made his qualifying lap, and I think that was the difference in speed and why he was able to qualify as well as he has and hasn't gone to the apron yet. A bit of a conservative approach, at least for the start. Hopefully we can get that win today. I wouldn't be shocked if the winner of this race is not the champion, though. Ryan Blaney hasn't won a race all season. We've had 12 different winners, but he is not one of them. One of a handful of playoff drivers to actually make the playoffs on no wins. We had 10 different winners in the regular season. We've had a couple non-playoff drivers win some playoff races, like Chase Briscoe at the Roval, and then Alex Bowman just won at Martinsville in the last race. Kyle Larson also had a non-playoff driver win at Homestead. He was eliminated in the round of 16, the very first round. 2 wins on the year, though. He qualified his way in by winning the regular season finale at Daytona. Would have been in on points anyway if he didn't win that race. Harvick lifting off turn 2 to keep it off the wall. It's going to break his momentum. Here comes Eric Almirola to the inside after just getting by another SHR Ford of Chase Briscoe. Top 4 are just pulling away. Really, 2nd through 4th are all on their own, and then Ryan Blaney's getting away from the rest of the field right now. Contact with Almirola. Eric's got the spot on Harvick. Harvick gets to the bottom, though, quickly before Kyle Busch had a chance to get underneath him. Harvick managing the gas. He just wanted to make sure he wasn't going to make more contact with the 10 car that time. Really needs to keep this green as long as possible. This guy shouldn't have to pit in stage 1, but I guess we'll just have to wait and find out. I'd like to think they should be able to make it 60 laps on fuel on a 1-mile racetrack. It's only 60 miles. This game's a little wonky with the fuel strategy. Shifting every corner, every lap. From 5th to 4th and back to 5th by the exit of the corner. Side-by-side battle for 2nd place. A little further up towards the front of the field. Looks like Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin going at it. Kyle Busch trying to get a run on Harvick. Ross Chastain is the 2nd highest running Championship 4 driver, up to 9th after qualifying 15th. He's gained 6 spots. Harvick has lost 4. I feel like Harvick's going to have some pretty good long-run speed, especially if he takes care of his tires. He'll be more aggressive on maybe some later race restarts, but not right now, or even late stage restarts, depending on how the circumstances will be with potential cautions. Again, we had a yellow on lap 2. That was it. Kyle Busch to the inside of Harvick, door to door. Pretty close battle for position right now off the exit of the corner, and side by side as they enter turn 3.
All clear.
Oh, Harvick got into the back of the 18. Little bump and run. Harvick back into 6th place. Busch passed him cleanly. Harvick got him back not so cleanly. Protects the bottom lane that time. Keeps pushing his rearview mirror. Harvick drove it in a lot deeper through 3 and 4, a little too deep. Opens the bottom back up for Kyle Busch again. No PJ1 or grip strip there on the outside. Cindric blows the corner, makes contact with Harvick. They're 3 wide. Chastain down on the bottom. This is going to get dicey into turns 3 and 4. Cindric probably made contact because they were 3 wide. Battle for the championship in the early going here on the line. Harvick throws a block on Chastain, holds on to 7. Chastain did get by the 2, though. Battle for 7 and the championship 4 lead. 3 wide further back was Cindric, Bowman. Couldn't tell who that was on the outside. I think it was the 43 car of Eric Jones. Space Orbs, thanks for tuning in. I am overdriving the entry to turn 3 so terribly. I can't get the drive off when I do that. Cut down my straightaway speed on the front stretch, too. Lenny had 3 wins in 2021. This is true. I mean, he went winless in real life last year. I guess it wouldn't be out of the ordinary that he goes winless in this, even though he made the playoffs in both. Got to get to the bottom lane in turns 3 and 4. Chastain's going to make a move on Harvick one of these times if he's close enough. I'm content with driving it in a lot deeper into 1 and 2. It seems like the car kind of sails off, but it grips up a lot better in the middle of the corner there in the flatter corner versus the bank corner, which you would think it'd be the other way around. Now that time I drove it in deep, but it actually kind of stuck, and I was able to get back to the throttle a little quicker. Harvick and Chastain kind of pulling away from Cindric and Bowman behind them, but still staying relatively close to one another. I'll tell you what, if the 1 and the 4 are going to be pretty equal today, it's going to be a fun battle for the championship all night long. Might be a little stressful. Harvick was the regular season champ with 9 wins in the regular season, 3 more wins through the playoffs. All in the first 5 races of the playoffs as well. Won races 3 through 5. Round of 16 finale in the first 2 races of the round of 12. Bristol, Knight, Texas, and Talladega. Kind of trusting himself right now in that middle to upper groove. Chastain keeps going down to the bottom. He got underneath Harvick once, but couldn't actually complete the pass. Harvick a little lower that time through turns 1 and 2. I don't think Chastain's driving it in quite as deep as Harvick either. Everybody's car handles different. Wouldn't think this is a multi-groove racetrack, but it kind of is. That was definitely an overdrive that time through turns 3 and 4. Harvick got a lot closer to the wall than what he wanted to. And here comes Chastain. Again, gets to the bottom. He couldn't clear the 4, though. Side by side. Into turns 3 and 4. We've got a battle. Here we go again. Round 2, Chastain and Harvick. How aggressive will the 1 be versus the 4? Harvick, again, able to hold on. That time it was a mistake that allowed Chastain to get to the bottom, and not necessarily Chastain just driving it in a lot deeper and getting the car to stick. Billy Kramer, thanks for tuning in. Stage points do not matter for the Championship 4 competitors. Big takeaway here is they all hope they finish on the lead lap at the end of stage 1. Really, just got to take it one stage at a time when it comes to that. Everybody should be able to make it on fuel all the way through the first stage. It'll be interesting if they pit during the stage break or not. Well, Harvick's definitely going to pit during the stage break. Take all the advantages we can. And the bottom that time. Actually got it to stick down there through turns 3 and 4. I don't know if that's lap traffic holding up the leaders a little bit or what's going on. Whatever the case, these guys closing in. Alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in the race today. Honestly, I do like Phoenix in this game. I think it's a really good track. I mean, it stinks that the AI wreck on restarts a lot here, but outside of that, though, if we can get a couple laps into the restart as we did here and get a long green flag run, I think, personally, the track is pretty fun to drive. I think the shifting element kind of makes it a little bit more fun to drive on this game versus other NASCAR games. And here on expert difficulty, still a challenge to running in 7th place right now, but at least we're in the Championship 4 lead, which again is the big picture today, is to try to win the title. It's going to be interesting though, as Harvick catching traffic. I think Harvick and Chastain are just getting better in the longer run. It doesn't look like there's any lap traffic that's holding these guys up. Closing in on their own merit. Harvick sails it off into turns 3 and 4 that time. A little too much, perhaps. So he gets closer behind Kyle Busch, maybe in a little bit of a wake of dirty air. NASCAR HMS fan, thanks for tuning in. Harvick towards the outside that time, trying to get a good drive off. And now dive bombs underneath Kyle Busch. Down into turns 1 and 2, went down to the apron. Busch still on the outside off the exit of the corner. Side by side. And Harvick trying to clear. And he is clear. He's able to get a great cut in the center of the corner that time to get to the inside of Eric Almirola for position as well. Leaders have caught Ryan Blaney just a bit as well. Kyle Busch got a good run on the outside off turn 4 as he battles back on Kevin Harvick. It's crazy how all these leaders are starting to catch up to one another. Ryan Blaney was so good on the short run, and now the field is slowly catching up to him. Kyle Busch able to clear Harvick on the outside off of turn 2. Harvick can't make the pass on the bottom lane. He struggles down there, which we've kind of seen that from everybody today, not just him. But it is not lap traffic that is tightening the field up. William Byron to the inside of Blaney for the lead. They're 3 wide now. Logano down to the inside. 24 and the 12 might have touched, too. Big time run for Harvick to the outside of Kyle Busch. Harvick not able to get him. Chastain to the inside. Probably made contact with the 4 of Harvick.
3 wide, 2 down there. Got 1 left. Clear all around. Clear all around.
Chastain is still underneath the 4. Oh, Harvick in the wall.
Clear, clear, clear.
All tires are up. And that allows Chastain to clear. Finally gets by Kevin Harvick. Kyle Busch trying to slide job on Almirola. They make contact. Busch has the spot on the 10. Chastain to the inside of the 10. Chastain gets a little loose. Almost turns the 10 car, and Harvick gets by both of them on the front stretch. Larson starting to catch up now. Harvick into the back of the 18 car, getting into the corner. Oh, Busch is around, and Chastain crashes into him. We've got a caution.
Yellow flag.
Caution flag is out. Oh, man. And Harvick would have to go to the tail end of the field there for causing the yellow as he ran right into the back of Kyle Busch. Busch gets turned. And we're under our second caution of the race. That's highly unfortunate. Leaders did not get to the start-finish line at the time of the yellow. There are cars that are going to be trapped a lap down for sure, but Harvick's still in the lead lap as well as Chastain. Green flag back in the air at Phoenix. Only 17 cars on the lead lap right now. Harvick, the last of which, whole pack of cars in front of him. Somebody almost wrecked off of turn 2. That caused a major stack up, and Harvick trying to get by as many of these cars as possible here.
Clear, clear.
Tries to move his way back to the field. Big slide job on Michael McDowell. He's going to get it done. Not as good of a restart and as clean of a restart as Harvick could have had there. A stack up again. Another car almost gets turned off of turn 2. That might have been Justin Haley off the front bumper of the 99 of Daniel Suarez. One car was passed for position somewhere in there by Harvick as he moves up to 16th. Not sure if all the Championship 4 cars are on the lead lap or not, but we know at least Harvick and Chastain on. 7 laps to go in the stage this time by. Harvick clears Justin Haley. Having Subway. Elite Fresh. Communist Legos, thanks for tuning in. Jacob Givens, also welcome into the stream. That's some good racing going on, though, in Stage 1. I'll give us that. And 2 cautions so far. Make that 3. Caution flag is out again. This will not get us to the end of the stage. We're going to have a late stage restart. And it'll be a 1-lap green-white checker shootout to decide this opening stage of the Championship 4 race here at Phoenix. Harvick up into the wall. That didn't work out very well. Dives to the bottom. There's Elliott and Bell. They are both on the lead lap. Chastain got checked up. We got a car pitting. Left front tires down on Harvick's car after he runs into Larson. Caution's out behind them, and that's going to end the stage anyway. And stage 1 will be won by Joey Logano. I don't know why Blaney was trying to pit on the last lap there on the restart, but at least we can pit for 4 fresh tires. Joey Logano wins stage 1 today. He is not in the Championship 4. And for Joey Logano, that will be stage win number 3 on the season for him. Tally that up real quick. Not that I have to give him any points for it, I guess, but yeah, 3rd stage win of the year for Logano. Eric Almirola 2nd in stage 1. Ross Chastain 3rd. Denny Hamlin 4th. Austin Cindric 5th. William Byron 6th. Chase Elliott 7th. Kyle Busch 8th. Kevin Harvick 9th. And Kyle Larson 10th. So we did get back in the top 10. Those late restarts in the stage. So we had a caution at the end of the stage, one that set up a green line checker, then 2 yellows before that, so 4 cautions total in stage 1. Again, we had 18 in the spring Phoenix race. That was only 50%. Ross Chastain leads the championship 4 through stage 1 with finishing 3rd. The other championship 4 competitors have Chase Elliott at 7th, Kevin Harvick at 9th. Christopher Bell ended up 13th, so he did not have a good restart there. Probably going to see the field pit under caution. We definitely know Harvick was going to pit. And it's a good thing because he had a flat left front when he got to the back straightaway after making contact with, I believe, Kyle Busch. That was not the cause of the caution. No severe damage on the 4, so that's also good. Just got to survive these restarts. So far we have, but it's been difficult to survive on them, I'll tell you that much. So it looks like most of the field stayed out there, which means Kevin Harvick's going to restart further back. Chase Elliott also going to pit. Okay, so there were quite a few cars that pit. Not everybody pit, though, but quite a few cars were on pit road. Green flag back in the air. With that being the case, Harvick going to go to the outside here. Checking way up also, because I have to imagine the field will check up. Nobody pits. And Harvick gets into the wall as he got squeezed. Justin Haley there. That was not what Harvick was thinking was going to happen. One car checking up everybody. Don't like being 3 wide middle in the dog leg. Contact there with Balicki. Harvick hangs onto it. Gets to the bottom. Kind of cut off the 45. Kurt Busch. Now we've got cars pitting. It's going to cause a stack up. Harvick's going for it. Getting a lot of his spots back. So we know Elliott pit, which is one of the Championship 4 cars. And I wonder how many of the Championship 4 cars pit. Bell did not pit because he's up here at 4th. He'll pit this time. Bell is in. Blaney's still on the track, but he pit right at the stage end. Austin Dillon hasn't pit yet in 2nd. So Ryan Blaney leads, but I don't think he's going to end up pitting. Harvick is cycled to 3rd. So strategy a little all over the place. Harvick will get to 2nd now with Austin Dillon pitting this time. So we actually got through with no cautions this time through the pit stops, at least so far. Blaney has crossed the start-finish line, but the caution flag is out. Excuse me. So caution is out for the first time today. In stage 2 at least. Bumped the camera when I got out of my seat there for a second. Alright. Should be good. So I believe Ryan Blaney crossed the start-finish line, which is going to put everybody a lap down except for him. So it looks like Blaney will be the only car on the lead lap. Green flag is going to be back in the air. Harvick going to try to get back on the lead lap as soon as he can. And he's going up the middle, 3 wide between Daniel Suarez and Austin Dillon. What a move by Kevin Harvick as he pulled it off. That was unbelievable. What a restart by the 4, and he's back on the lead lap temporarily. Question is now, can he get a timely caution to get back to Ryan Blaney? because he is going to have to be on the right side of the start-finish line if a caution comes out for him to get the lap on Blaney, and it did not happen there. So he will not get his lap back, but caution is out again. It's our second caution of stage 2, which will be our 6th total. Harvick in second, leads the championship 4, but I believe Ryan Blaney's the only car on the lead lap. I could be wrong, but I believe that is the case. Green flag back in the air. A lot of the championship 4 cars, just like Harvick, on the same lap here. Now, Bell's a lap down because he stayed out during the stage break. Elliott did not. Contact between Cole Custer and Kevin Harvick off the exit of turn 2. Harvick and Elliott on equal tires, and Chase moves himself up to 4th as he gets by Byron through turns 3 and 4. Ross Chastain's at 6 right behind him. So Christopher Bell's a lap down, but the other 3, actually technically we're all a lap down. Blaney's the only car on the lead lap, but Bell will be 2 laps down as of right now, and another caution deep in the field. I wouldn't be surprised if Bell loses another lap there, but Chastain, Elliott, Harvick, all on the same lap. They're all 1 lap down right now, so still racing for the championship. Pretty tough here as we are early in stage 2. Flag back in the air. Nobody's able to get their lap back on Blaney with the timing of all these cautions. It's going to be tough to do that today. Oh, look at William Byron for 5th on the restart. He's going to get by Harvick. Harvick going to try to cross him back over, and does. He sailed it off in there. I'd give him an A for effort. Was not expecting that. But he got the spot. Harvick looking to try to keep the spot as long as he can now. So we have about 100 laps to go yet in stage 2. 125 laps in the second stage total. Pretty competitive, though, for the Championship 4 cars. They all seem to be pretty equal with one another today. Bell's an extra lap down, which is going to be tough. And now it's going to be tough to beat Blaney for the actual race win because he's a lap ahead of everybody. Unless he gets off sequence with pit stops compared to the other 3. I don't know. Harvick a little bit wider. Oh, we got a car crash at the front of pit road right now. That's Ty Dillon. No caution for the 42 car. He has crashed into the tire barrels. Not even tire barrels, but the barrels at the front of the pit road entrance here at Phoenix. No caution for it, though, as there were some other lap cars on pit road that somehow haven't pit yet until now. Chase Elliott makes a pass on Byron. He's back into 4th again. He restarted 4th on the outside of Harvick. We'll see if he can get around the 4 car for position. Logano's made a pass on Chastain for 6th. Now, Ryan Blaney's got probably the best short-run car, but he faded pretty drastically over the course of the long run. Michael McDowell down on the bottom, trying to get up to speed. Some of these cars able to get by him, but not everybody, as there's some cars that were side by side back there that McDowell held up. Elliott, Harvick, Byron got by on the outside, though. Are we going to go down to the apron this time? Into the dog leg. It's by Garrett Smithley, who was coming, or BJ McLeod rather, who was coming out of the pits, and Elliott going to get to the outside. The 78 car, and almost got to the outside of Kevin Harvick. About made contact with his right rear corner panel. These two still racing cleanly, though. Ty Dillon just Ty Dilloning. Harvick didn't go down to the apron through the dog leg one single time earlier, but he's doing it now. At least early in the run. And second to last lap, he got really close to that inside retaining wall, too. The pit exit wall, specifically. Elliott looking low, gets to the inside of Kevin Harvick. Harvick sailed up a little bit wider that time. Logano, meanwhile, got by Byron as well for position. So side by side between Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott for the Championship 4 lead. Elliott is clear. Harvick couldn't go to the apron to cross him over because now Joey Logano on the 22 is down on the bottom. Harvick trying to split. Trying to get down in front of the 22. Chase Elliott goes wide in the middle of the corner. He comes down the track to 3 wide. Oh my gosh. Just about wrecked as Harvick is sandwiched between the 22 and the 9. How did they not wreck there? Harvick just gave a shot to the back of the 9 car now. Looking to take it back to the inside. Harvick not going to get there yet. If he can stay close to the 9 car this time without the 22 or the 24 getting under him in 3 and 4, he's going to try to get down to the apron. Kind of overdrove the corner just a little bit on his entry, a little late into the braking zone, but Harvick still trying to go for it as he works on the 9 car of Chase Elliott. Battle for 4th and for the championship lead. Still early in the race, not even to lap 100 yet. Harvick's just struggling in 3 and 4 right now. Michael McDowell going to get underneath. He's in 31st, two or 3 laps down, probably 3 down. Byron in 10th, I believe, is 2 down. They're trying to get back by the 34. A lot of contact there. It's going to hold Harvick up quite a bit. He got back by the 34. That's not the way he wanted to do it. Look at how much the 22 and the 9 pulled away from Harvick off the exit of the corner. Past halfway through the fuel run right now, too. I've noticed a lot of the Chevys seem to be really good on the long run. The Fords tend to struggle on the long run a little bit more. Especially Blaney, so we're definitely waiting to catch him at some point in time during this run. Got to gap Chase Elliott a little bit that time through turns 1 and 2. So position-wise, the championship 4, at least the top 3 of them, are 4th, 5th, and 6th. Elliott, then Harvick, then Chastain. Thought about using NASCAR Heat 5 mods, more updated roster. I'm on a PS4. I'm not actually using this on PC, so I don't think I'd be able to do that. Otherwise I would, because overall NASCAR Heat 5 is a much better game. Kevin Harvick has to be using his tires up quite a bit more too. Counted 8 times he's now going down to the apron into the dog leg. Be disallowing him to keep up with Elliott a little more on this longer run as a result. No Torres, thanks for tuning in. He's still trying though. Sailed it really deep that time.
One left.
Michael McDowell to the inside, Harvick in the wall.
Clear. Got one left.
It's going to cost him a lot of time on the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4. McDowell's going to be able to clear Harvick again. Everybody going to have to pit at least once in this stage, maybe twice. About a third of a tank of gas left. We know these guys are going to pit right around lap 60. But it could be a fuel mileage race, at least for stage 2, on whether or not it'll be a 1 or a 2 stopper. Gotta go as long as you can without pitting, though, just in case a caution comes out. Especially if you're Elliott, Harvick, and Chastain for the sake of the championship. Okay, McDowell's not for position. He is 3 laps down. Does seem like Ross Chastain is slowly closing in on the 4 car of Kevin Harvick. A lot of lap traffic, though, just up ahead. Although I thought it was lap traffic the last time, and it was actually just Blaney getting slower and slower. The field was slowly starting to catch up to him and then bunch together with each other. That was during stage 1 on a long green flag run there. This long green flag run in stage 2. We'll just have to wait and see if it's lap cars or if it's actually the race leaders. Harvick still about 3.5 to 4 seconds behind Elliott in Logano. He still fairly nose to tail. Harvick trying to put a little bit of separation between himself and Ross Chastain. But again, those Chevys are so strong on the long run. Doesn't matter whether it's the Hendrick or the Trackhouse cars. Remember Chastain, Kyle Busch collected in an accident. Later going to stage number 1. See the damage to the front of the 1 car. Doesn't seem to be holding him back enough, though. Harvick is about 7 to 8 tenths of a second ahead of Chastain. A little bit quicker than the one that last lap. Logano getting through a couple cars. I think he passed Custer for position. And perhaps William Byron as well. So Logano up to P2. So it isn't lap cars, at least initially, right in front of Chase Elliott. He's trying to get by his teammate and Cole Custer. Harvick has closed that gap down on the 9 because it was about a 3.5 to 4 second difference. Now it's about 2.5 seconds. Maybe even less than that into turns 1 and 2. And actually, now that we're getting closer, maybe Josh Bilicki has a lap car in front of Custer. It's tough to tell if that's Bilicki or Byron. If it's Byron, Byron I know is in second. Or at least I think he is, if I remember correctly. Actually, no, he wouldn't be. Logano would be in second now because Custer's third, so never mind. Joey Logano's up to second. Still trying to run down Ryan Blaney. It is lap traffic, at least holding up Custer. Now there's 2 more lap cars in front of Logano. Chase Elliott to the outside. Another lap car. Michael McDowell going to get in his way. And here comes the 4 and the 1. They're closing in on Chase Elliott here midway through stage 2. This may get interesting. All within a second of each other. The championship 4 leaders once again. Harvick trail braking, middle of the corner, trying to find a way to the inside of Chase Elliott. Not going to go to the apron this time. Nose to tail. Chastain caught up to Harvick just a little bit as well. Harvick looking to the outside this time, not going to try the bottom. Custer going to get to the inside of the 77. They're going to make contact. They're going to go up near the wall. 3 wide now goes McDowell down to the inside. That holds up Chase Elliott. Bush to the inside of the 1 of Chastain. Elliott's going to go to the bottom to get by the 77 of Balicki. Harvick going to take it down to the apron now into the tri-oval. Cutting the dog leg, and he's going to look for the dive bomb to the inside of Chase Elliott for the championship lead and for 4th place. Power sliding in the middle of the corner. Both cars are. There's contact.
Clear.
Elliott fell back. Harvick gets around him. And Harvick will take the championship lead. Both cars were sliding off the exit of turn 4. Somehow Elliott held on to it. He got the worst end of it, and Harvick is now going to take the championship lead again. Custer able to pull away a bit. A lot of lap traffic Logano and Blaney are dealing with at the front of the field right now. This has been a good race, though, I'll tell you that much. And Blaney actually is a lap ahead of everybody else. Kind of forgot about that. Looks like Logano has passed him. Logano back on the lead lap temporarily. Man, if you pit first, you're likely to cycle ahead between the 4, the 9, and the 1. The problem is if a caution comes out, you're going to get trapped a lap behind them. And we have seen 6 cautions today, so that's tough. All for incident, too. Because on the final lap of stage number 1, there was a caution for incident that ended the stage. Harvick using the lap car of the 15. Garrett Smithley is a pick to get by Cole Custer. Clears the 41 for 3rd. Power slides, but kept it off the 15 car at least that time. He's got the spot. This car a lap down, but no free pass given in this game. To make it on fuel in this stage, on one stop, gotta get 62 and 63 laps out of the tank. It's gonna be close. One lap traffic just ahead of Harvick here. Chase Elliott 0.4 of a second behind. Chastain losing the 4 and the 9 rather just a little bit. To watch for any of the leaders pitting really any given lap right now as well. Harvick to the inside of Justin Haley. Elliott closing in. Harvick couldn't clear him. Cody Ware in the way. Harvick going to clear the 51. Elliott's stuck behind the 31 and the 51 now. Lap 61 in stage 2. Big dive bomb by Harvick as he slides clear of the 27 now. If we get a caution, I'd imagine the entire field's going to pit during the yellow. Greg Biffle now holding up Ryan Blaney.
We got about 5 laps of fuel left.
And Blaney get a pit from the lead this time. Gonna allow Harvick to get back on the lead lap. Chase Elliott stays out of the pits that time as well. About a 1 second difference between Harvick and Elliott. Oh, Harvick blew turns 3 and 4 that time.
Okay, we have to pit next time by. We're running low on fuel by my calculation.
Harvick gonna stay out 1 more lap. Lap 63 right now. Logano get a pit. And Chase Elliott's in also. Ross Chastain stays out another lap. This could cycle Elliott ahead of Harvick. Ryan Blaney has lost the lead temporarily to Kevin Harvick. Harvick will pit this time. I'd imagine Chastain will end up pitting this time as well. And on to pit road speed there. Pretty good entry. 45 miles an hour is the speed limit 4 tires of fuel, no adjustments for Harvick here. He was the championship 4 leader, but he was in 3rd place when he pitted. Elliott was in 4th behind him, and Chastain was 5th.
Good job. Go give me one more.
Chastain, same lap, in with Harvick. He was about a 1.5 behind him. Elliott pitted a lap before. He was a full 2nd behind Harvick. And I think pitting 1 lap before him is going to cycle Elliott back to the championship lead, if I had to imagine.
Okay, this lap.
It's going to be borderline on fuel, though, to the end of the stage. I know Harvick's going to be good because he went 63 laps. Chastain Harvick should be good on fuel, but I'm not so certain about Chase Elliott. He may have to pit before the end, which could cost him an entire lap. We'll have to wait and see. Pretty slow stop for that 4 team of Kevin Harvick there. Slow stop for Chase Elliott, too, though. Harvick cycles out right in front of Elliott, who might have been caught in lap traffic. So I think Ross Chastain is actually the championship 4 leader. So Elliott must have had an even slower stop than Kevin Harvick. And Ross Chastain is now leading the championship battle. Unless this is... Oh, no, this is Chastain coming out of the pits. No, it's not. It's Cody Ware. He's holding up Tyler Reddick and Kevin Harvick right now. Harvick trying to get around as quick as possible. Not going to be easy because the 8 car is about as fast as he is. Even though he's in 19th. At least on equal tires. Mr. Haley coming out of the pits. He just cleared Stenhouse. Harvick cycles to 6th place.
Clear, clear.
Austin Dillon in 5th, just up ahead. Harvick closing in on him for position. I think Dillon has to pit yet. Harvick should get by him pretty quickly. We'll look to do so in turns 1 and 2.
Alright, top 5. Here we go.
Harvick up to 5th. I know Kyle Busch cycled out ahead. He had a pretty fast pit stop. Logano Blaney. And I'm thinking Ross Chastain would be the other car in the top 4 that is ahead of Harvick. And if that is the case, he would be in 3rd, and he'd be leading the championship 4 battle. It's the longest green flag run of the race so far. Last one green on lap 25 of the stage, so we're at about 45 laps under green.
All clear.
We went barely over 40 laps the last long green flag run, which was in stage 1. We restarted at lap 8, then ended up getting our 3rd yellow in that stage at about lap 44. When we restarted, there were only 9 cars that were on the lead lap. Or I should say 9 cars that were 1 lap down. Again, Ryan Blaney is a car that Harvick would like to beat before the end of the stage, if at all possible, because that would mean he would get his lap back and he'd be a full lap ahead. It's also big because if Ross Chastain beats the 12 to get back on the lead lap before the end of stage 2, and then Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott do not, they're going to be a lap down, although Blaney pitted a full lap even ahead of Elliott. So Blaney pitted at lap 61, Elliott at lap 62, and then Harvick and Chastain at lap 63 pitted. So you would think Ryan Blaney's not going to be able to make it, which would mean that this should get these guys back on the lead lap before the end of the stage anyway, and then they can pit during the stage break. Blaney pits before the end of the stage. And Elliott may make it on fuel, he may not. And it's going to be very interesting whether he does or doesn't.
Stay left. All clear.
Christopher Bell in 11th place, but he is 2 laps down versus everybody else 1 lap down. I mean, don't count him out of it, though, if he does get a lap back on Blaney and then another lap back after he pits. I mean, there's a chance he could get back on the lead lap. He's definitely going to get 1 lap back before the end of the stage, with that likely being the case. I don't know if he's going to get both, though.
Car right.
Harvick to the inside of Kyle Busch. Corey LaJoie holding up Eric Jones and Kyle Busch. Harvick passes Busch. That is for 4th.
Car right.
There's it really deep to the inside of Christopher Bell. Had those left sides down on the yellow line. And he'll clear Bell with a clean pass off of turn 2. Ryan Blaney is not that far ahead of Kevin Harvick right now. So Chastain is already back ahead of him. As well as Joey Logano. Logano passed him even before Blaney pit, though, too. Logano in 3rd, so I think Chastain's up to 2nd. Makes it even more desperate for Harvick to get by Blaney as soon as he possibly can. Because if we get a caution and we get trapped the lap down versus the one at Chastain, that is where we could be in trouble. 25 people watching. Appreciate you guys tuning in here on this Friday night NASCAR 22 Championship 4 race. Hit the like button if you haven't done so yet. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Just under the halfway mark in today's race. Alternate through the different camera angles here for a little bit. Stage 2. Scoring glitch had Ryan Blaney 1 lap ahead of the field after winning stage 1 and at the end of stage 1, so everybody else trying to play catch-up right now.
Clear, clear, clear.
We've had 6 cautions total, but that was the only lap that cost them most of the field here. Everybody from 10th on back is 2 laps down to start the stage. Christopher Bell would have been 2 laps down in 11th. Harvick is the first car lap down, but thinking that Ross Chastain is in 2nd, so he'd be leading the championship 4. He is on the lead lap. He has already passed Blaney. We've gotten through green flag pit stops at stage 2. Blaney not likely to make it off field to the end of the stage. Blaney about got into the back of the lap car off the exit of turn 2. That was Bubba Wallace. That's his friend. Harvick under both, or at least under the 12 for now. He's going to try to send it into turn 1 to get by Wallace as well, and does. It'll stay in front of him. The 1 car gets to the inside of the 12 of Blaney, boxing him behind the 23 a little bit more.
Stay left, clear,
Quickly
clear.
pulls by Todd Gilliland. Chastain is in 2nd. Joey Logano has caught him for 2nd place in a battle there. Quickly gets by Ricky Stenhouse. Chastain still fending off Logano for position for right now, at least. Harvick overdriving the corner. May have gotten back into the gas just a little too soon also. Landon, thanks for tuning in. Caution is out. The yellow flag is out, and guess what? That is not only our 7th caution of the race, but Harvick just crossed the start-finish line before the yellow flag came out. Blaney was behind us, did not get to the line yet. Ross Chastain, Joey Logano, 2nd and 3rd would have been ahead, so that means Chase Elliott, who was only 1 or 2 spots behind Harvick. I think he was still at 6. I don't think he caught Kyle Busch yet. So Elliott going to be a lap down. Christopher Bell now is going to be 2 laps down. If I'm thinking correct, yeah, so Elliott will be 1 lap down. Bell will still be 2 laps down. And now Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, Ross Chastain, and Kevin Harvick will all be on the lead lap. And we're headed to a restart. So Kyle Busch might have gotten to the line too, it appears. So the top 5 are actually on the lead lap, but Elliott did not get there. Green flag back in the air.
Got 1 left. Clear, clear.
Blaney could be in trouble on this restart. Harvick sails it in deep. He's got Kyle Busch underneath him. Blaney holding on to the lead. Busch makes a clean pass on the 4 car for 4th place. Harvick sends it into the corner, gets back to the inside of the 18, looking to slide up, but Busch is already there still. There's our 3rd caution for incident in stage number 2. So we got a 5-car race for the lead. 1 car is parked against the inside retaining wall, just missing pit road. Like one of the back markers. I think it was BJ McLeod. Harvick going down to the apron. Kyle Busch going for 3rd on Logano. Side by side for position. No caution for that car sitting on the inside of the track, by the way. NASCAR says he's out of the way, I guess, even though he's clearly not out of the way. I have some lap cars leaving pit road down to the bottom of the racetrack. Harvick gonna get by on the outside. Pretty much everybody got by on the outside pretty quickly. I think they're gonna be fast enough on fresher tires that they should stay ahead of Blaney. I don't think it's going to cause these guys any issues other than the fact that Blaney will be in dirty air for about a lap or 2 until they really get up to speed. So Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell are in deep trouble to try to beat Chastain and Harvick for the championship at this point. It looks like it's a one-on-one battle between the 1 and the 4. But now they can go for the race win too, as well as the championship. The top 5 all within really 2 seconds of each other right now as we're 2 laps away from halfway. Chastain going towards the bottom a little bit. Harvick tiptoed his way through 1 and 2 that time. He wasn't sure if the 62 was actually going to get underneath him or not. Wanted to make sure he wasn't going to get contact under that left rear corner panel, risk getting spun out. Briscoe coming out of the pits.
Got 1 left. All clear.
And he cycles right in between Blaney and Chastain. Chastain trying to pass him. Briscoe just now getting up to speed.
Got 1 left.
Are we going to get passed by the 62?
Clear, clear.
Chase Elliott's in 7th. 2 seconds behind Harvick. Harvick to the inside of the 62. He knows he's not going to be able to pass him, though. Just looking to get into the clean air was all he was really trying to do right there. Justin Haley's on fresher tires behind him, I do believe, also. Really hoping the 62 kind of runs these guys down. Also hoping that the 14 can get side by side with the 12 and kind of hold Blaney up a little bit. Felt like it was more dangerous with Noah Gragson right on her back bumper the way he was, because I didn't want to risk getting turned. Pushing a little too hard that time through turns 3 and 4. We're down to 26 laps to go in stage 2. Chastain was the highest running Championship 4 driver in 3rd at the end of stage 1, but that was when most of the Championship 4 were all still 1 lap down. Elliott's a lap down, Bell's 2 laps down. Elliott's up to 6. He can finish ahead of these 5 cars before the end of the stage and get his lap back that way. That's probably going to be his best chance of being able to do it. Because honestly, Chastain and Harvick got lucky that they had already passed Blaney before that last caution came out, and they had to be ahead of the start-finish line before Blaney got there, which they were. Same goes for Kyle Busch, I guess, too. And Busch just made a pass for second on Ross Chastain through turns 1 and 2. So now Chastain's back to P3. Love Blaney to win the 500. I'd love that too. As a Ryan Blaney fan. I think he's the favorite right now. At least on FanDuel, 12-1. 12-1 for the number 12. Gragson to the inside of Ross Chastain, side by side between those 2 cars, and actually looked like Gragson cleared them off the exit of turn 2 pretty easily. Chastain's starting to fade over these last couple laps. Obviously lost that position. Joey Logano's starting to reel him in now, and maybe there's a chance Kevin Harvick could get to him. I don't know how much of that might have been with the 62 a little closer in front of him. 62 car to the inside of the 18 now. Couldn't quite get around him though. Busch fends him off just a little bit more. Oh, Kyle Busch and Ross Chastain are coming into the pits. So they are short pitting right now, which is very interesting. That's risky if a caution comes out. Harvick should be good to make it. It was going to be close, but Harvick and Chastain pitted the same lap. I'm surprised they're pitting right now. Harvick's staying out to the end of the stage. Elliott pitted 1 lap before Harvick earlier. Yeah, that was interesting. Michael Turner, by the way, thanks for tuning in. I think I shouted you out yet. Now, Chastain's going to have fresh tires for about 19 laps to try to run down the top 3 to finish on the lead lap for the end of the stage. I don't think it's impossible that he can catch these guys. But even if he does, it's going to be on older tires to start the next stage by almost 20 laps. So he'll end up staying out during the stage break then. Elliott is slowly catching up to Kevin Harvick. There's no lap traffic between the 4 and the 9 right now. Harvick closes in on Joey Logano. Harvick's car got really tight, though, that time through turns 3 and 4. Could not get it to hold. I mentioned earlier Ryan Blaney won Stage 1. That was not the case. Joey Logano actually won Stage 1. And it was early in Stage 2 where we had a caution where Blaney was able to get ahead on the restart. And that's how he got a lap ahead of the field for a little bit in this second stage. I actually forgot Logano did win the opening stage of the race. Ford's 1 through 3 though. And then Elliott a lap down in 4th. We know Harvick's staying out to the end of the stage. A lot of lap traffic starting to form in front of Ryan Blaney. Within the next few laps he'll get to him, and if that holds him up enough, it'll be interesting. Logano and Harvick, and even Chase Elliott, who's trying to get back on the lead lap. Maybe it's now an Elliott and Harvick battle for the championship, with Chastain short pitting if Chastain can't get back to the top 3 and unlap himself on fresh tires before the end of the stage. Definitely a lot of strategy going on in this race today, but it is a fun race so far. And honestly, very difficult to predict who could potentially win this championship. Suarez with a power move on much fresher tires gets by Kevin Harvick. Passed Elliott the corner before that. Harvick power sliding a lot more through turns 3 and 4. Had to lift quite a bit off the exit of the corner. Gonna give Chase Elliott a run. A lot of lap traffic around Ryan Blaney. They're going to go down to the apron here. Trying to gap Chase Elliott a little more on the front stretch. Do the same thing again this time. I think there's a very good chance Blaney's pitting for the end of the stage. Potentially Logano as well. Don't know about Chase Elliott though. By the way, Ross Chastain just passed Elliott for position, so Chastain is more than likely going to get back on the lead lap for the end of the stage, especially with Logano and Blaney dealing with some very heavy lap traffic right now. Good strategy, I guess, by Chastain. Harvick going to try to hold him back as much as he can, but with Chastain on much fresher tires, it's going to be very difficult for Kevin Harvick to hold that one car back. About 0.8 of a second behind him yet. Still have about 8 laps to go yet. Stage 1. Harvick drives it in way too deep into turns 1 and 2. Chastain to the bottom, makes contact with Harvick. Harvick had to lift to keep it off the wall. He just completely drove into the side of the 4 car. Wanted to waste no time getting around him. Elliott about 1.5 seconds yet behind the 4. So he's got a much better chance. And now a caution flag has come out before the end of the stage. So the yellow flag is out. This is going to make things interesting. Yeah, I don't even know what to think here. Because Ross Chastain is still a lap down. I don't know if Elliott got to the line. If Elliott did not get to the line, then Chase is going to be 2 laps down in 5th. We know Chastain is 1 down still. Harvick on the lead lap. Harvick going to pit during the caution flag. I'm not sure if Blaney or Logano are going to pit here. This has made things even nuttier. We're going to have a late stage restart just like we did in stage 1 too. Only going to have a couple laps to go. We had a 1-lap dash in stage 1. We might have that same thing here. This is our 8th caution of the race, our 4th caution of stage 2. We had 4 cautions in stage 1. And here we go. Harvick restarts at 3rd. I believe Blaney and Logano stayed out, considering they're well ahead on the restart. Green flag back in the air here at Phoenix. A 1-lap dash to decide the stage victory. Way down to the bottom goes Harvick on the fresh Goodyears.
2 on the outside.
That car's pit. Oh, Blaney and Logano are in. There's a wreck off the exit of the corner. Caution's out, but did Harvick get past the 12? No, he did not. He didn't get past the 12 or the 22. Joey Logano will win stage 2, and Kevin Harvick was so close. As there was a crash off turn 2 on the final lap of the stage, similar to stage 1. You want to talk about inches. And if that caution came out maybe a second or 2 later, Kevin Harvick has won stage 2, but that is not the case. Now, I don't know where Chastain was. I'm not sure if Chastain got ahead of the 22 and the 12 before the end of the stage. Chase Elliott might have been able to get ahead of him too. I have zero clue if they did or not. That is interesting. So, Logano, Blaney were on pit road when the caution came out. So I have to imagine they're going to stay out and restart towards the front. Harvick going to stay out. He didn't even have a full lap on his tires. And then Ross Chastain, I don't know if he got past the 22 or the 12. He was a lap down on the restart, but if he passed the 22 and the 12 when they pitted, I don't know if he was behind all that traffic that wrecked or ahead of it, because Harvick passed a lot of cars. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Harvick's either going to be a full lap ahead of Chastain, or on the same... If they're on the same lap, they're both on the lead lap. And Chase Elliott is at least 1 lap down, if not 2. We're not going to know about Chase Elliott being 1 or 2 laps down. We may not know until the end of the race, unless we see him ahead of us at some point in the final stage. But for Chastain and Harvick, they may be back on the same strategy on the same lap. We'll just have to wait and see. We're going to stay out during the stage break, and we'll find out when we go back to racing. So Logano sweeps the stages today. That'll be his 4th stage win of the year, 3rd and 4th in the season finale. Chastain is going to be on the lead lap on the restart, it looks like, and same goes for Cole Custer in 5th. Green flag back in the air, and we're underway, final stage, and we are racing at Phoenix. Harvick, slingshots to the bottom. He hasn't led a lap all day, and he's going to get to the lead in turns 1 and 2. What a restart by Kevin Harvick. Blaney is in the pits, same as Logano here. I guess they did not pit earlier. Chastain did not get ahead of him when the caution came out because he still scored in 4th. Harvick leads for the first time today. Well, now this is interesting because Harvick's going to be a full lap ahead of the 22 and the 12 once they come out of the pits here. Chastain to 2nd, but he is a lap behind Kevin Harvick. And Harvick's got a 1-lap lead on the field. Very same situation Ryan Blaney was in early in stage 2. Only Harvick's in it, and we're in the final stage. Stage break was our 9th caution of the race. There's Logano, by the way. Blaney cycles well out ahead of him. Joey may go 2 laps down here if Harvick can get in front of him off the exit of turn 2. It's going to be close. Logano got into the side of him. He runs him up the hill. That's going to keep Logano at 1 lap down. So, I mean, as of right now, it's looking like Harvick's going to have to win this race to win the championship. Chase Elliott's back to 26th. He's pretty much out of it. I would imagine Bell's out of it. It is a race for the championship between the 1 and the 4. But Chastain is a lap down compared to Harvick. I thought he was on the lead lap, but I guess not. That means he was not ahead of the 22 or the 12 when the caution flag came out. I guess, you know, even if he was, I think he was still a lap down because he didn't get to the start-finish line first because the caution came out to end the stage and not the actual green and white checkered flag. So I think that's why Chastain is still a lap down. Which makes sense, at least. I mean, in actuality, it doesn't make any sense, but it makes sense knowing the game and how the scoring glitch works on this game. But, I mean, Chastain's got a lot of speed. The Chevys have been really good on the long run. So he could unlap himself on Harvick here, and then it's just dependent on when we get another caution. If we see another caution in today's race, he's going to have to be on the right side of the start-finish line compared to before. Chastain's going to have to pit twice in this stage. And this stage is 2 laps longer with Harvick not pitting during the stage break and pitting during the end of the stage. I think the 1 and the 4 are both going to have to pit 2 times. But with Chastain likely pitting before the 4, does that mean that Harvick... Oh, I didn't shift up to 5th that time. Red line. I want to blow a motor. But it is going to be... I don't know. This is going to be interesting. We're a lap ahead, but we're going to have an alternating 2-stop strategy between the 1 and the 4. The 1 is definitely going to pit well before the 4. Unless we get caution. See, that's the thing. If the caution comes out, I have no clue if the 1 is going to end up pitting or not. When he may pit. We'll have to keep as close of an eye on it as we possibly can, but it's not going to be easy. Alternate through the different camera angles once again in tonight's race. Crazy race, but it has been a good one so far. $24 likes on the stream. Be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you haven't yet. Missed an insane one so far. If you are just tuning in. Got Harvick a lap ahead, but likely looking at having to pit twice in this final stage, as well as Ross Chastain, who is in 2nd. Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell pretty much out of it. They're both multiple laps down.
Got one right. Got one clear.
And even Chastain being 1 lap down, you would think he would not have, obviously, as good of a chance as Harvick. But that alternating pit strategy, and when the 1 car is going to pit, he's going to gain a lot of time on Kevin Harvick. This is only a 1-mile racetrack, too. That's definitely time that he could get back. I don't think we've seen the last caution today. The 9 that we had in the first 2 stages, I don't believe will be it. Have to imagine we're going to get a caution at some point in this final stage. First 14 laps have been caution-free in stage 3.
Stay left. Clear all around.
Lap cars have kind of gotten into the way of Ross Chastain recently. Over these last handful of laps, Kevin Harvick getting through his lap traffic a lot better and a lot quicker. And as far as the race win goes, Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano are both a lap down also. It's going to be close on whether or not they are going to have to pit once or twice yet before the end of this race. See Christopher Bell up here. He's about to lose another lap. He's in 17th. He's ahead of Elliott now. Remember when Cole Custer was in second at one point in this race? He's back to 9th.
2 on the outside. You're 3.
Slide job on the 41. And the 99 cleared them both.
Stay left. All right, hold your line. Clear, clear.
Blaney and Logano getting held up in this heavy lap traffic. They'll be in danger of going a second lap down here before long.
Car right. Clear, clear, clear.
Harvick slides around the 21 of Harrison Burton. Logano has made the pass on Blaney and has caught him
Got
for
one right. Got
third
one right.
place.
Clear, clear, clear.
Harvick gets by the 34 to the inside of the
Got
7.
one right. Clear, clear, clear. Car right. Clear all around.
I guess Chase Elliott was able to get around Christopher Bell for position. Bell would be 4 laps down. Elliott 3 down. Chastain 1 down. Although Elliott still stuck behind lap traffic, in danger of losing another lap here before long, and he'll be 4 down with Bell again. Chastain has not been able to keep up with Harvick through the lap traffic, so Harvick's really opened that gap up on the 1. One car about got in the wall right in front of Joey Logano. Big stack up on the back straightaway. Harvick to the inside of the 12. Austin Dillon holding these guys up. Elliott gets by. Harvick going to get by the 22 and the 12 that last lap. Dillon's still struggling for rear tire grip off turn 4. So now the 3rd and 4th place cars are 2 laps down. They may have to pit just one more time, though, the rest of this race. It's going to be interesting if they'll be able to cycle back ahead of the 4, at least for the race winning sake. And Harvick not as worried about them for that. Well, Harvick is with Ross Chastain for the championship. William Albright, weather expert, thanks for tuning in. Caution is out. I didn't think we saw the last caution in today's race, but the yellow flag is out. Kevin Harvick is going to pit. He was going to have to pit twice anyway. He's going to pit now. 4 tires and fuel. No adjustments to the 4 car. His second to last stop. Wonder if Chastain's going to pit with him or if he's going to stay out. Chastain was a lap down still. No extra scoring glitch there, so Chastain a lap down in second, just as he was prior to the caution. Like Logano may have pit. Looked like Logano, maybe not. Green flag back in the air. So this is interesting because now Chastain's going to be ahead of the 4 on the restart. It was our 10th caution of the day. We've got cars sliding around. Will we see some cars crash? There's a hole. Harvick found it. He gets through, everybody. Had some cars pitting on the restart. Bottlenecking everything up on the inside and the outside, especially the bottom. Harvick got through there cleanly, thankfully. There's Chastain. Harvick trying to put the one car lap down again.
3 wide, 2 outside.
And he does. And you can tell he's on fresher tires.
Got 1 right.
So Chastain's still going to have to pit twice.
All clear.
A little less than 100 to go. Kevin Harvick 1 lap ahead of Chastain again. Next question is when exactly will Ross Chastain pit? You'd hate to restart back in traffic every time. Maybe the best case scenario to do that as long as Harvick is a lap ahead of Chastain. Just in case Chastain pits, they'll have to restart further back in the field, but if he takes on fresher tires than Harvick, you'd have to think he's going to get his lap back at some point in time. Even if Harvick's not going to be within the field window. If he's within the field window to make it to the end, they'll definitely pit. That'll be a no-brainer. We have had a few long green flag runs in today's race. And one of which has gone longer than 60 laps. Which is about a full fuel run. Harvick's been able to go 64 laps on 1 tank. Well, 92 laps to go at the start-finish line for Harvick this time, but...
Clear, clear. Car right. All clear.
Highest crash rate in NASCAR Cup Series history. Who keeps track of that stat? I mean, I'm sure you can find anything on the internet, statistically speaking. Where's my turn signal?
Clear.
Just because these are stock cars doesn't mean that they have everything a normal car has. It's our final time alternating through the different camera angles in tonight's race. Caution flag is out. I don't know if Chastain had gotten to the start-finish line or not at the time of that caution flag. Harvick going to stay out of the pits on this restart. It'll be our 11th caution of the day. No clue if he is 1 or 2 laps ahead of Chastain with that caution flag coming out, but the green flag's going to be back in the air. Outside the field window to make it to the end. We got a big pile up and a major stack up at least in turns 1 and 2. Wonder if potentially Ross Chastain may have been pitting there. He either pitted during the caution or he's pitting now. Caution flag is out. They have no clue how many laps Harvick may be ahead of Chastain here. Harvick going to stay out of the pits again though. Plus green flag laps he has to run to the end of the race, I guess. Green flag back in the air. Following caution number 12 now. And our third caution Stage 3. Saw at least one car peeling to pit road that time. So Harvick is anywhere between 1 to 3 laps ahead of Ross Chastain right now. More of a chance that Chastain lost a lap that time versus the caution before that. Got one car, it's Austin Cindric, who was wrecked against the pit entrance wall. We stay green for now. So there's Chastain in second. Closing in on fresh tires, looking to get a lap back on Kevin Harvick here before long. But again, he is anywhere between 1 to 3 laps down, so it won't be a pass for position at least this time. But I don't know how many laps he's going to end up getting back once he passes the 4. And he could have been the one car that pitted after the restart, potentially as well, as Bell just runs the 4 up the track. It's going to open up the bottom for AJ Allmendinger now to get by, as he passes Harvick cleanly. Harvick into the back of the 16. Chastain with a big run off the outside here. Harvick cuts down on corner entry. He'll try to hold the 16 up as much as he can. Chastain knocks the 4 up the track just a little bit. Contact there, a little Rubbins racing. And Chastain's going to get a lap back. So now Chastain is anywhere between being on the lead lap to 2 laps down in this race as we speak. Everybody has to pit one more time. Harvick will have to pit before Chastain next. Harvick gonna hope to pit under caution. But he's only gonna pit under yellow if he can make it on field to the end. Chastain definitely pulling away from the 4 as we expected there. Firing to the inside, knocks the 4 car up the track. Last few cars that have passed Kevin Harvick haven't really passed him cleanly. We'll go back to the part chase cam for the rest of the race. We have about 65 laps to go at Phoenix in this championship race. Again, Ross Chastain could be on the lead lap, but he could be 2 laps down. The way the scoring glitch is in this game, we have no clue. He is on the lead lap. He just unlapped himself a little bit ago. He's only about 4 or 5 seconds ahead of Harvick. Oh, maybe a full straightaway. Chastain is only going to end up actually making that lap up, though, if he is on the side of the start-finish line. That Harvick is not if we get a caution. Otherwise, he'll end up losing that lap right back again. So basically, the caution would have to come out sometime Harvick getting into turn 3. As of right now, at least, obviously Chastain's going to widen that gap over Harvick as much as he possibly can. Quite a bit of lap traffic, though, likely holding the 1 up, I'd have to imagine right now also. So there's quite a few cars up there, and it's been difficult to pass today. Even if you have fresher tires, you can get it done. But it may take a bit trying to make the maneuvers. Cody Ware in 20th right now. Maybe not anymore. I think he was, yeah, he was on pit road. No, actually, Kurt Busch was in the pits. Cody Ware's up to 19th. He's a chance to beat one of the Championship 4 competitors if Christopher Bell is for position right in front of him. Although I think Ware's on older tires and just got passed by the 20. Seems that way because it seems as if the 4 car is catching up to him. 3 wide off the exit of turn 4. Oh, big move. Didn't realize Kurt Busch was already behind the 4 car there. Harvick moved down, didn't realize Kurt was there and almost turned himself. I'll pull to Chase Elliott.
Got one right.
Turned myself in the dog leg in the championship race.
Get 2 up top, stay left. Clear all around, clear all around.
Harvick definitely seemed to have gotten through those lap cars a lot quicker than Chastain did. Harvick has closed some of that gap right back up again, but Chastain much quicker. Harvick cutting the dog leg this lap. A lot of it he was closing in on Josh Bilicki. He was hoping he could get underneath him. Even Bilicki having a good run at 15th currently.
Stay left. Clear, clear, clear. Stay left, stay left. Still there. All
More than
clear.
likely, everybody going to have to pit one more time yet in today's race. Justin Haley coming into the pits this time to make his final stop. Fuel window is open to the end of the race. if we get a caution, Harvick will definitely pit. I don't think I've watched that episode, but I've heard of Clint Boyer being on Triple D. Bell up to 13th. He's worked his way up through the field quite a bit. He was outside the top 20 earlier on. Much fresher tires than the 4 right now. I have to think he's going to be looking to get around him very soon. Bell now up to 11th. Getting by Kyle Larson for position. He's still a few laps down, though. Harvick on the inside of Hesmans. Gets around him. Bell was not. He'll still be stuck behind Hesmans. About a quarter tank of gas left for Harvick. Going to do everything he can to not make a green flag pit stop in case we get another caution, which would be our 13th yellow of the race. The next one we would get. Because if he pits under green, if Chastain's on the lead lap right now, then Chastain's going to end up lapping Harvick. So if we then get a caution after that, that is going to be dangerous for Harvick, and that could cost him the race. Which would also cost him the championship. So if we do get a yellow, he's hoping it is before he pits. Chastain will still have to pit before the end. I guess the caution could come out after Chastain and Harvick both pit. Omar, thanks for tuning in. Bell back inside the top 10. I don't think he has to pit before the rest of the race. I think he should be good on fuel. He just cannot get by Harvick. Larson was on fresher tires, got around him for position a little bit ago. Wouldn't think to count Christopher Bell out of this race. I bet Harvick could go about 10 more laps on fuel yet. Right around there. Bell to the outside of Kevin Harvick. That might be the way to make the pass. Harvick drives it in really deep. Able to hold clear of the 20 of Bell. Bell couldn't get to the inside. He got to the outside, but he couldn't clear the 4. And the 4 was able to clear him back instead. Back around the start-finish line that last time by, and through 1 and 2. Bell gonna be held up again by Kevin Harvick. Best chance Christopher Bell maybe has at the championship is if a caution comes out after Harvick already pits. Depending on how many laps down Chastain is. Honestly, Bell getting all the way up to 10th makes me believe that Chastain is on the lead lap. I don't know if that's completely accurate or not. But just based off the fact that Bell was 4 laps down at one point in this race. I don't think he is anymore. So we haven't seen that many cars pit since the window is opened up to the end of the race. We definitely had cars pit, maybe half the field, if that. And again, it is guaranteed that the 4 will have to pit before the 1. Now he's going to be able to widen that gap back out again on much fresher tires until Chastain pits, and then tries to run him back down on fresher tires at the end of the race again. Don't think he's going to be able to make up a full lap, but I guess you never know.
laps of fuel left.
You just don't know if the next time the 1 catches the 4, if it would be for position and for the race lead and the championship lead or not. We're not going to know until that happens.
We got about 5 laps of fuel left. We got about 5 laps
Chase
of fuel
Elliott up to 11th, and he is now catching Bell for position. There's a chance even after all the hoopla we've seen today, all the Championship 4 competitors could still all get top 10s. Harvick closing back in on Joey Logano, who's been stuck behind Harrison Burton for the last few laps.
We got about 5 laps.
Custer got by Bell the last lap, or maybe a couple laps ago now. Harvick sends it underneath Logano. Custer probably going to try to pass the 22 for position. Couldn't do it that time, at least, through turns 1 and 2. Harvick now going to slide his way by the 21 of Burton, who is in the 32nd place position right now. Harvick going to stay out of the pits again, this time by. 40 laps to go at the start-finish line this time by as well. Actually make that 42 laps to go at the line.
Okay, we have to pit next time by.
Harvick will stay out this time by also. Custer stays behind him. And Custer did not pass Logano for position. They're on different laps. Elliott did get by Bell for position, though, for 10th. And Kevin Harvick going to pit this time by. So when he comes out of the pits, we're going to have exactly 40 laps to go in today's race. 45 miles per hour is the pit road speed limit. Harvick going to be on his way in. And he is down to pit road speed easily.
Leaders on pit road.
Moment of truth. We'll know when Chastain gets around us this time around if he'll end up being a lap ahead of us when he first comes out of the pits. Or if he'll have to cycle all the way back around twice to get to the lead. He hasn't gotten there yet, I don't believe.
Watch the light.
Caution flag is out. This is very interesting now. The yellow flag is out while Harvick was already on pit road. I don't know if that's going to actually change our tires or not, so I'm going to pit just to make sure. Our 13th yellow of the race is out, and that is not what Harvick needed because there's a good chance Chastain had made up a full lap on Harvick before the caution flag came out. Oh boy. This has made things even... That was the worst time for a caution to come out for Harvick. He needed that a lap before when the caution actually came out. No clue how many laps ahead of Chastain he is. They could be on the lead lap. They may not be. Who knows? Green flag back in the air for now. And will this be the final restart or not? At least we know Kevin Harvick is going to be good on fuel and tires to the end of the race. Quite a few cars pitting this time. The only worst way a caution could have came out is if Harvick was already in his pit box. He could have been in his pit box already and then ended up cycling or a caution could have came out while he was already on pit road a little bit longer than what he was. I mean, he was only a couple boxes away from actually getting into his box, too. And the number 2 stall, qualifying second. Well, Chastain doesn't catch Harvick for position on the track during a green flag run right now, then we have zero clue if they're going to be both on the lead lap or if Harvick will have at least a 1 lap lead over him until we cross the checkered flag at the end of the race. Harvick quickly gets around 34 on the outside. Dowell's getting up to speed on the bottom of the track still. Harvick trying to sweep Phoenix, get his 13th win of the season, and win the championship. We have exactly 30 laps to go in this race. We kept track of who was on what lap pretty well all the way to the end of Stage 2. But once we had those 3 consecutive cautions at the beginning of Stage 3, I have had zero clue as to how many laps ahead of the field Harvick could potentially be. Or if he is on the same lap as Chastain, which would mean that Chastain would be on the lead lap. Again, I have zero clue. And I still wouldn't be surprised if we saw another caution before the end. We've had 13 so far today. This will be a 32-lap green flag run to the checker if it stays green all the way to the end. Probably the 4th longest green flag run of the day. So we've had longer. Christopher Bell back to 25th now. No longer in the top 10, unfortunately. Didn't think he had a shot going into the final stage anyway. It was going to be tough for Chase Elliott too with that caution coming out. The last 2 cautions specifically in Stage 2 probably costed Elliott a chance. Lost an extra lap right before the end of the stage. Was still trapped 2 laps down on that 1 lap dash. Now we did have green-white checkers in each of the first 2 stages today, so we could have an overtime finish today. We had a 1 lap green-white checker. In both Stage 1 and Stage 2, Joey Logano won both stages on those restarts to sweep the stages today, but it's Harvick who didn't take the lead and lead a lap at all until the final stage. He's led nearly every green flag lap so far. Caution is out again, our 14th of the day. Now this is going to lap Chastain in extra time, so Ross Chastain is at least 1 lap down now with a scoring glitch. As of this caution, Harvick will stay out. We'll get to another restart. So no matter what, Ross Chastain is going to be 1 lap down. Not sure how far back he is. Green flag is back in the air again. He could have pitted. He could have stayed out there. We have zero clue, really. Harvick just wanting to keep the track position right now. Not wanting to pit and put himself back in traffic. He's got a 1 lap lead. We're down to 19 laps to go in the restart. Gonna get another lap in. Fell back up to 14th. He wasn't 25th, I think, going into that last caution, or at least just before the caution came out. Still has no chance to win it. Be lucky just to get back in the top 10. Try to get another lap back, though, in the late going at the very least. Maybe gets a good time in caution to at least solidify himself getting another lap back. Just unaware exactly how many laps down he is. Once again, hit the like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you haven't already. This NASCAR 22 season finale at Phoenix. We'll have one more season of this game. It'll be a custom scheduled season. I've had to do the points myself all season long. I'll have to do that again for the next season to be able to pick whatever driver. You guys voted for me to race as Kevin Harvick for this season. I already know who I'm going to be racing for the next season. That will be a surprise. You'll have to tune in for our Daytona 500 next week on the channel. I'm not sure what night that'll be. It'll either be Monday or Tuesday. Probably leaning towards Tuesday. We'll wait and see. Got some more cars on pit road right now. "12 laps to go at the line. I'll get down to the apron through the dog leg. Christopher Bell going to get around the outside. Kevin Harvick. Get another lap back. Clean pass.
Stay right. All clear.
Quite a few drivers that have come out of the pits in recent laps going to try to get back around Harvick on much fresher tires from now to the end of the race. So Harvick just going to have to make sure he doesn't get ran into, risk blowing a tire as we're down to 9 laps to go. Less than 10 miles away from a championship for Harvick. He's got at least 1 lap lead on Ross Chastain as of the last caution. We know that was definitely a scoring glitch. That would have put Chastain a lap down. He could have already been anywhere between on the lead lap to 2 laps down prior to that caution coming out. We really had zero clue. Considering Harvick was on pit road when the last caution came out, I would have said anywhere between a lead lap to 1 lap down before that last caution came out. So I have to think that Chastain's anywhere between 1 lap down to 2 laps down right now. Unless he pitted after the restart, because we've seen quite a few drivers pit. I have no clue exactly what pit strategy he's on. So if he had pitted since the restart, then he's more than 2 laps down. Keselowski going to get by the inside cleanly on Harvick. Harvick going to the bottom just to catch some clean air, really. He knows he's not going to get back around the 6. Couldn't even really pull back alongside of him either. Dal Reddick, the next 2 cars behind the 4. Catching up to some cars on older tires. Some of the back markers. Garrett Smithley, Cody Ware, a couple of the Rick Ware cars, in fact. Lap 3:08 of 3:12 at the start-finish line this time on.
Got one right. Clear, clear, clear. Car right. Clear all around.
Kurt Busch pitting. Harvick had to check up. He got back around Bell. Garrett Smithley off the wall off turn 2, but he gets back around Christopher Bell also. So Bell lost that lap. He got back on Harvick. Billy Carjoy, thanks for tuning in. Finally won my first championship. I mean, it's my first season of NASCAR 22, so I don't know about finally win his first championship. We did win a championship with Ryan. Oh, no, we didn't win a championship in NASCAR 21. I forgot. Yeah, I didn't win one on the NASCAR 21 side of things. I came close in that season finale. Right here at Phoenix. So, yeah, I guess on this game, even though it's the first chance on the NASCAR 22 side of things, 2 laps to go at the line. Harvick just wants to see the white flag, so that way he knows that there's no chance of an overtime finish. And we have had 14 cautions in today's race, 4 less than we had in our first Phoenix race. The first Phoenix race, we were having some pace car glitches, caused a lot of the yellows, but that was only a 50% race. This one is the full race. We're going to have 4 less yellows as of right now. Potential of 1 more that would end the show. White flag is going to be in the air, though. 1 lap to go for Kevin Harvick.
Final lap.
The championship will be his. It'll be his 2nd of his career. 13th win of the season. That will end up giving him 73 career wins in the NASCAR Cup Series. A few shy of Dale Sr. Couldn't quite get to that 16 mark this season. Maybe if I didn't have the road course glitches on all but 1 road course race this year, maybe I could have actually had it, but needless to say, not quite going to get there. But we got the job done when it mattered the most, winning the race and the championship at Phoenix despite finishing outside the top 5 in the first 2 stages. Honestly, we accomplished what we needed to there. And a 4-lap victory, and make that 3 laps. 3-lap victory over Ross Chastain. So what would have happened is Chastain lost a lap under the last caution. He lost a lap under the last caution, and I think he pitted after the restart, which would have lapped him probably 2 more times with this being a short track, at least once. So that would make sense that he was on the lead lap on that caution with about 30 laps to... The restart with 32 laps to go. Chastain was on the lead lap with Harvick. But then we ended up lapping him with the next caution because of a scoring glitch, and then we lapped him 2 more times once he pitted, with this being a shorter track and a long pit road. As we stayed green for the final, what was it, 19 laps off the last restart? So, I mean, yeah, we were on the same lap up until the second to last yellow with 32 laps to go. I mean, that was the difference maker right there. Chastain could have pitted. We could have both been on equal tires at the front of the field, but he stayed out. We pitted. We gapped him a little bit, then we ended up having that caution, which allowed us to be on the right side of the start-finish line over Chastain. That was the end of the race early right there. Especially no free pass in this game. So Kevin Harvick gonna win it. How about that? Chastain beat us in stage 1. Actually, we did finish 3rd in stage 2, and he was 4th, so we did finish highest in the championship 4 in stages 2 and 3, but we only won the final stage, which was the most important to win the race and the championship. 13 victories on the season. Our season stats here with Kevin Harvick: 23 stage wins, 22 top 10 finishes, 19 top 5s, 13 wins. And if you want to bear with me here for a quick second, I will tally up the average finish as well. It was a 13.3 average finish coming into the race today. And in first place, probably going to knock that below 13 if I had to guess. Almost there. A 13.0 average finish. So not quite below. Yeah, 13.0 average finish. Not quite below a 13, but pretty darn close. And honestly, if I didn't exit out of the race early at Martinsville when we had a shot to win after winning stage 2, but I was feeling under the weather, we probably would have had less than a 13. But 13 average finish, right on the dot. We won the championship. We won the most races. We won the regular season title. We deserved it. We deserved this championship. So, yeah, that's 2 championships this week. We won this championship. We won the NASCAR 06 Cup title at Talladega on Tuesday night. So now we got to win the Truck Series and the Busch Series title in NASCAR 06 this weekend. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night on the channel. We'll be racing our next NASCAR Busch Series race on NASCAR 06 at the UPS Speedway. 375 laps, I believe, is the distance. 350 or 375 for that one on a half-mile short track. So that'll be tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the next stream. And for those of you that might have missed the start of the stream, I had an announcement. Fortunately, I will not be going to Daytona next week. I have sold my Cup Series ticket. I didn't buy any of the other tickets yet. I was planning on buying them at the track. That's what I usually do for the Xfinity and Truck Series because they never sell out anyway. So I was going to end up buying those at the track. Same thing with the dual races. I will not be going to Daytona next week, so we will have an all-speed week coverage with live commentary streams. Again, I was going to do the live commentary streams anyway for the Truck Xfinity Cup all season long for the races I don't go to, so we'll be doing that. The dual races will be on Thursday. I'll be doing live commentary for those, and I'll be doing live commentary on Wednesday night for qualifying for the Daytona 500 as well. So live commentary streams Wednesday through Sunday for Speed Week. Again, Wednesday night qualifying, both dual races on the same stream on Thursday, Friday night with the truck race. Doubleheader on Saturday. I'll be doing live commentary for the ARCA and the Xfinity Series. Don't plan on doing ARCA races all season long, but because of Daytona being Speed Weeks, I'll be doing live commentary for ARCA this weekend. And then I'll be doing live commentary for the Daytona 500 on Sunday as well. So can't wait for that. Even though I'm not going in person, I'm still pumped for Daytona, and I'm actually going to be stoked about doing live commentary for Speed Weeks. It'll be the first time on the channel that we'll be doing that, so that'll be a lot of fun. I will see you guys tomorrow. Congrats on ourselves. We won the championship. Thanks for sticking out the season because it was a long one. We had our ups and downs for sure with this game, and we finished on an up. Even though the field ended up getting spaced out there with all those cautions in the final stage in the late going. We were on the lead lap with Chastain. It was a good battle through almost 300, really about 288 laps, 286 laps, whenever that second to last caution came out. We ended up, unfortunately, lapping him in extra time there. And that was kind of the be-all, end-all at that point. Then he did pit during the caution to try to get that lap back and then get another yellow, which we ended up not having. But I don't think he would have raced his way back around if he was one lap down in 19 laps, even on like 40 lap pressure tires. I just don't think it would have been possible without that other caution. So needless to say, whatever his strategy was, really that second to last caution sealed the deal for us, lapping him that extra time. Thanks everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow night at 7, and have a good start to your weekend on Friday night.